Hey everyone, Austin here. Today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to take you through part of my process as I work on one of my comic pages and talk a bit about the journey I've had trying to find a style. I have trouble finding the time to sit down and record these kind of moments, but I thought it'd be cool to share. This is me just starting a page, inking, spotting blacks, and really trying to figure out what look I want the comic to have. Sometimes I think the hardest part is figuring out the look. A lot of people go for just, clean lines, black and white. Some people go with hatching. Some people go no flat blacks and just straight up hatching everywhere. It's hard to figure out what looks professional, but what still feels like it suits the story while also feeling like an expression of yourself. It's something I've struggled with a lot. Sometimes you want to copy other people, try and figure out how they got their style to be a certain way, whether it's, very angular or soft and round, clean, or more dark and gritty with all the textures in there. It's really difficult to find what your expression means whenever you're making an art piece. What I've kind of landed on here is something that I feel suits the story, but still is something that I want to do. It is dark, though it's not the grittiest that I like to capture in other pieces of art that I create. I it's supposed to be readable while at the same time expressing the story. My comic Sword and Thimble, this one I'm working on here, is kind of my journey. I'm still very much figuring it out. Some pages, I think, absolutely, this is it. This is my style definitively. And then the next page or the next issue or a different piece I do, I change it again, or I realize, ooh, I'd rather do that different, or I like how this artist does it. Maybe I'll try and capture it that way. Um, it's easy to look at your old stuff and sort of cringe at it. But it's more helpful to look at it and see how far you've come. Be okay with where you were and be happy about where you are now with your art, or that's for a lot of different things. That's how we get better. Look at how things used to be and see how that's evolved or changed. It's all part of the journey. For me personally, my art is largely about the contrast. I really like spotting in blacks and throwing in detail, especially where it counts. You have a character or environment that's farther away, you're going to be putting in less detail. Where something's really up close, you want to get all those little nitty gritty details in there: torn cloaks, clanging of swords, hair flowing in front of someone's face. It all adds to the ambiance, to the scene, making the story feel more interactive. The more elements that you have that help to tell the story, stepping in the mud of the ground, telling you that maybe it rained the day before, or little cracks in the bricks of a building, telling you that it's a little bit older or decrepit, maybe not taken care of. I really want all my pages to have flow. Some of them have action, but flow, the contrast between the blacks and the whites, leaving breathing room and trying to lead the eye specifically where you want the reader to be focused on. The entire piece matters, of course, and you want to fill up the page as much as you can, unless you're going for leaving that negative space to draw the eye from section to section, panel to panel kind of thing. I think every artist hits that wall of not feeling like their work is good enough. But the truth is, no one else is inside your head. The only way people see what you're capable of is if you finish something and put it out there. Put it out there for people to see. So even when I don't feel ready or I don't feel like my art is up to par with what I want it to be, I try to just keep going. Making something like this, or posting on social media, or putting my art out there in general. That's what this comic book is to me. Something to prove to myself that I can keep pushing forward, that I can put this stuff out in the world for people to see, regardless of how many people do see it. Well, that'll be it for this video. Really just wanted to show what my process was like, kind of talk about where I am currently as an artist. I find that really helps me, hearing and seeing um, people discuss where they're at right now, where they want to be, where they came from. But thanks for hanging out and listening to me while I worked. Hopefully, this was relatable in some way and perhaps a little motivating if I could help with that. If you're working on your own stuff too, I plan to keep sharing more as I go. So if you want to see more of these kind of videos, inking, discussing style, working on comic pages, just the process in general, stick around. Thanks for watching.